Good morning, everyone. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you all. Okay, there's a little bit of tension in the energy this morning. So this is a twin flame read, but I also did my 12 sign read next to it to give you a little bit of extra information about each sign and the energies they're dealing with and how that affects the read today. And I also went into my little girl this morning just now to give you the message about what she was showing us. And that was, I just want to write something down real quick. Okay, so when I went to my little girl just now, she was, you know, like that little girl with her arms crossed, mad, like not even mad, but more being snotty, like that humph, you know, energy of a kid. And she wasn't a tiny kid. She was more like, I don't know, between 4 and 7 somewhere, like that age. And her arms were crossed facing left toward the feminine side. And then there was a shift and she about faced to the right in the same position with her arms crossed, still, you know, being kind of, you know, snooty and obstinate. So then as she did the about face from the left to the right, the way I describe my ears popping sometimes to you guys, like your ears popping on a plane, but there was no discomfort. It's just the shift of the hearing of the energy. I don't know how to describe it. There's no pain involved. It's just the same sound that you would hear when your ears pop on the plane. So that's what happened when she switched directions from left to right. And then right after that, because she was still being, you know, kind of snooty there, she started searching through, it's just pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. It was like searching and searching through files and files or assembly lines of the past, determined to figure out the discontent, the entry wound, or the evidence to prove that she was right. And then the guidance was, you might, and then she was just all of a sudden exhausted and she just plopped down on her back. And it was funny too, as I was doing this, I felt the need to adjust my body position as I was meditating, which also may have helped with the shift. So you might as well just, you know, if you're in that frustrated energy of needing to figure something out or prove something to yourself or to someone else, you might as well just take a break at that moment and relax, allow the shift, and then just be love. Okay, so that was the message coming up from her. And I'm going to show you the pictures for the read and the 12 sign read for, and the 12 signs is always for, it's not just twin flames, it's for all signs, okay? So this is the main read today, okay, from the SIRIAN Starseed deck. This is the main read. And then we have the clarification cards. There's 7 decks here. It's a 7-deck read, okay? And then here is the 12 sign read for all astrological signs. And it starts at the top with the strength card up there, the left with Aries, and it goes across. So all the signs start from Aries, Taurus, and so on across. The second line starts with, the top line is the summary of each element. So the top is fire, earth, air, and then water. And then the next line starts with Aries with the Ace of Pentacles across. And then like Leo is the Death card reversed, and Sagittarius is the Queen of Cups upright. And it ends over there with Pisces with the Knight of Cups. So they go in order from Aries to Pisces. And then the underlying energy is that up top there with the underlying energy for everyone is the Lover's reverse, and then the overall card pulled for everyone at the end is that Magician behind the deck there, upright, which is both Gemini. So I'm going to give you a little summary about that information before I start the read, so you have that information going in. So with all 12 signs, and this was done at 12:19, 10:19. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, 19 is the Sun. So Sagittarius being the Queen of Cups, Pisces the Knight of Cups, and Gemini was the Page of Cups reversed, seemed to be all related with that Cups energy. There's a lot of Cups energy. Virgo, Taurus, and Libra also had Cups energy, but not in the court cards. Virgo was the Six of Cups reversed. So the Virgo energy is that challenge in the disconnect between the twins, or can be dealing with the past, again, trying to pull up those records like the little girl was showing us, and also could be dealing with your children and their issues. The Libra and Taurus energies were more overall discontent. So the Sag, Pisces, and Gemini were also related to Virgo, Libra, and Taurus discontent, along with Gemini, right? Because that's the Page of Cups reversed, and then Taurus was walking away in the Eight of Cups. Cancer sleeping on it, perhaps meditating, laying it to rest, which is interesting because I was just laying it to rest with my inner child, and I'm Cancer rising and Virgo sun. So Aries, Sag, Aquarius, and Pisces are powered up, especially Aries. Aries probably had the best card with the Ace of Pentacles, and Capricorn is being very present, and also Capricorn is being very present in feeling Tauruses and Virgos, and perhaps Scorpio as well, their discontent. Aries, contentment is being offered or offering a new life, help, money, or opportunity, and is really positive. The fire element is really strong. Earth is stable and wealthy, or dealing with family, business, or community that's strong and wealthy. Air is whatever you're doing, it's not working. Water is coming clean, getting clean, or cleaning up around the house. So the fire at the end with the summary cards falls short, injured, or paralyzed in fear with the Knight of Wands. Oh, I didn't show you the bottom, I don't think. So it wasn't showing. Oh, it is there. Okay. So that bottom row there is the summary of each element. So the first one's fire. The second is earth, air, and then water at the end with the Ten of Cups. Those are the summary cards. So in the end, fire falls short, injured, or paralyzed with fear of exposing their true desires. Earth is not telling, perhaps feeling negative or a negative exchange, dealing with delays, all perhaps with fire. Maybe fire is the cause of that. And then air is awake, especially Aquarius. Gemini and Libra were in more negative energies of ego, whereas Aquarius looks like they're awakening to the journey, or perhaps leading the way. And then Pisces is the happy ending or emotionally fulfilled. Cancer resting, Scorpio no longer needing to defend themselves. They can think or do whatever they want, they don't care. And Pisces is just being love or offering love. So the best overall, Aries, Sag, Aquarius, and Pisces, but fire falls short. Leo is taking forever, perhaps in dealing with a Scorpio reversed. The only majors in the whole read are Leo upright for the fire signs, and then Scorpio reversed in Leo's spot in their energy, and then the Hanging Man and the Awakening for air signs. At the root of the matter, though, is all Gemini. Gemini reversed in a breakup or lack of affection, and in the end, the Magician for everyone manifesting big time with water leading the way. So if you're struggling today, follow water. They're going to lead you into complete contentment and manifestation. Okay? So that's the message for that. So now we're going to go into the read. This is for today. Today's 12/4/2020, December 4th. And I did this read last night. Where are we here? Yeah, I did this read last night, but it's for today, the 4th. And the 4, of course, is the Emperor, and the day adds up today to the 20 of Judgment. So yesterday was the Sun of 19, and exposure, happiness, children. Now today is Judgment, so it's a little bit different energy there, which is probably why everyone's energies are not major arcana and more, subdued or just challenging a little bit. Because whenever Judgment comes up, we're either judging others or judging ourselves. So I cut the deck, the SIRIAN Starseed deck, last night at 7:17, which is a special number for us, right, with the 7s and 1s. And then we have the 7 of the Chariot, the 17 of the Star, and finishing the clarifications at 7:37, which is the Chariot and the King of Cups, unconditional love. So it was really special numbers there. And the major arcana for this read were Hanging Man, the Star, the Higher Self, Solar Deity, which is the Sun. And before the read, because I always pull a few cards on either end of the read, before the read, Chariot, Reflection, which is the Hermit, and Transition, which is the Death card, came up. And after the read, Reason came up, which is the Emperor. Now the Emperor is reversed in this read. We had 3 wands, 2 cups, and 2 wands, 3 wands, 2 cups, 2 swords in the read. And the court cards were the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Wands. And after the read, the Page of Cups came up. The numbers in the read, we had triple 2s today. And the code line was all about the number 2. So 2s, the one-on-one energy is really important today. And then 55 of the Ace of Swords, Excalibur, which is the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God, which I don't usually have to say that, but I was being guided to say that now. And then the other numbers that came up in the read today were 89, which is that phi energy of the reflection of the human body temperature. So being outside yourself, too hot, too cold, and needing to rebalance. The 25 of the Knight of Wands is significant here. 12 of the Hangman, 23 of the King of Wands, 35 of the Eight of Wands, which was upright in the read, but it was reversed for earth signs at the end of today here. In the 12 sign read. We also had 57 of the 3 of Swords, the separation. The 3 of Swords was upright in the read. And then 78 of that 10 of Pentacles, which was very significant, especially for the earth signs today. So the code line from last night for today was all about parenting. And this isn't just parenting your children. I just went into my inner child. It's about parenting your inner child, your children, and your parents, and perhaps other people who may need your help. So the message here from the code line and the challenge today is the Queen of Cups upright, which is Sagittarius today. And the block for the twins is the Sun. And the Sun did not come up in the 12 sign read. But that can be Leo energy. And we already disclosed that Leo is probably the crux of the problem here. And Gemini. So Leo and Gemini and Scorpio are the only major arcana in the 12 sign read today. And fire may be the cause of the problem, and there's Leo, because the other 2 fire signs are upright. So Leo is the one holding everybody up. So parenting coming up, Sophia toggling up. So Sophia is the divine feminine collective energy, right? That very high vibrational feminine, toggling up the sensation, the roadside shelter or the inn, the key of the 2, the high priestess, but also the divine feminine, and the one-on-one in the fire, the expansion and contraction of the Queen of Cups' soul, expanding via parenting, one-sided creation, right? So creating with herself and her children without a partner. Also the path of Han. Han came up again. The nobleman of rank, the sultan, to possess an ear, an arm, a hand, a leg, a wing, a message, to possess the credit, to get credit. Chinese was also coming up along with ginger and duck. And of course Han represents a dynasty of the Chinese, which is very significant in the energy of the current society. So, and all of these things, that is the path of the Han, the noble man of rank who possesses all of this, a place that will accept him as such with all those weird things, right? Imagine a guy showing up at your door who has a duck. Are you going to let them live with you? So it was kind of interesting the way that read was coming up. The key to expanding and contracting, right? To expand your life or your business, and then contract, right? To make a promise. To be self-disciplined every day in your spiritual practice, perhaps. And then 7-2 came up, which the Chariot and the High Priestess, but also the 72 of the 4 of Pentacles, being very practical, grounded, and saving, to be and to feel childlike, right? To keep it simple. The fire and water, the F sharp, remember, F sharp would be outside the crown because the crown would be the note F, going outside yourself with the phi, expanding and contracting, remembering to come back to center again, back to your heart, in order to feel fine. And this is telling, the child is saying, keep it simple. If you have the Four of Pentacles life with without a lot of heavy financial or practical burdens, you're going to be more free to be you, to keep it simple. And the 72 coming up with that Four of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups, wise, of heart and emotions. Perhaps someone has a cat with a virus, or the Emperor with a clotting factor. So maybe the Emperor may be throwing clots. So let's see here. So the acronym SOUL came up, S-O-L, which has a lot of different meanings, but that went into the read today, as well as a word called, it's sulfi, S-O-L-F-I, which is sulfur, which was very interesting. And sulfur is to preserve, or brimstone. And the symbol for sulfur is S. So Sophia is showing up, because for me, S is Sophia. So Sophia is paralleling herself to sulfur, and that takes us back to alchemy and being the salt of the earth. Sulfur is the atomic number 16, which is the tower, right? We use sulfur to preserve things, and also to clear the bad smells, right? From root swell, or swelpus, S-W-E-L-P-L-O-S, that's the root. So sulfur's root means to burn or smolder, or to take away the smell, or to preserve something. So, and again, all of my definitions I get from Wiktionary, and any general information I give you for definitions are just reminders of stories and things like that, all come from usually Wikipedia. If it's not one of those, then I'll tell you exactly what it is. So from the code line, also the St. Hans cross comes up, and that has to do with the Bowen cross, or the shield knot, after St. John the Baptist. And Han comes from Johann, because that's John becomes Johann. It depends on what language it is. So the Han comes from John. And the key is to expansion and contraction of the Queen of Cups, right? She is the feminine energy of heart and intuition, having a clear heart, with the masculine sun, the sun in the sky, the Han energy, and the salt of the earth of the shiningly merry girl. That was coming up for the feminine here. Also gold and silver coins, both in the same meaning, right? And silver is the feminine energy, gold is the masculine energy, being left alone, a shoulder to cry on, the solution to the weather, right? Can anyone have a solution to the weather? Probably not, right? Because it's divinely guided, it's universal energy. The floor mat, grounded, while the gymnast is high up in the air. So you see where they're going with these opposites, right? The floor absorbing and grounding, while the gymnast is up in the air, floating, the etheric realm. This is Sophie, the expansion and contraction, the breathing in and out, and being creative. The clotting of the emperor and a sick cat, bringing two ends together. And again, remember I told you about a grandparent and a grandchild, somebody putting them together to work each other's problems out, like where two negatives can make a positive. Bringing two ends together to merge and create, unending, a grid of streets without stoplights, only circles, like the circle intersections instead of the lights. But this is that the shield knot, or the Bowen cross. It's the unending grid of streets without stoplights, only circles, but only two outlets, right? They don't go out all four sides, they only go out two sides, so they end up coming back on themselves, going around in a square. Four people connecting. So I was getting the picture of this. If you look up the shield knot, it's the same as the Irish knots. It's only, instead of being the triangle, it's the square. You know, it's the unending loop. So it was coming up here to me as four people connecting by crossing your arms, right? Instead of putting your arms out the normal way to grab someone's hands, you would cross them first with the right arm over the left arm, and then holding hands each the same way, right arm over left and so on. Or it could be two people weaving, crossing their arm right over left and then turning their hand up the opposite way. So if your right arm is over the left, then your hand is under. So that was very interesting the way that came up. So it has to do with people connecting. 4 people, making it more simple, or 2 people weaving in and out, right arm over left and then right hand under left hand for both. And then it's an unending circle. So the Saint Han being key, with 2 expanding, the Queen of Cups, sulfur, creation, or in other words, preserving their artwork or whatever kind of creative work they do. The Queen of Cups is the sulfur in creation, preserving their work. The Hanging Man, we start out with the Hanging Man here in this read. Okay, clarifications on top. The cards going down beneath the Hanging Man were the 7 of Swords from the bottom up, 7 of Swords reversed, Chariot upright, Reflection upright, the 3 of Swords upright, and Transition upright. So the Hanging Man, I was also getting the Han and Ginger, because hanging is H-A-N and then G-I-N-G. So the Hanging Man is literally Han and Ginger. I was just getting Ginkinger as well. So that may be significant for someone. So hanging out, after coming clean, cleaning up, and that was definitely coming up as the water signs specifically. So hanging out after coming clean, cleaning up, or moving or traveling to hermit with heartbreak and separation, going through a transition. I was also getting that Hans cross, the shield knot, as instead of the circle of trust, the square of trust. And they also note in Wikipedia that it's literally 4 shepherd hooks put together. Oh, and that's so funny. It just made me think of the Christmas Chronicles movie I just watched, because when they were showing the candy canes being produced, they come out in little shepherd hooks, right? And the way they come out, though, they showed them on, more of a grid, and then they would get cut into the shepherd hooks. So that's very cool. It's paralleling that. So 844, which is the strength, and the 44 of the mastering, grounding, and integrating, especially of love, and that's what boredom is for, to ground and integrate what you've just expanded into. Cancer, Virgo separation from Scorpio, and cleaning up, hanging out, or feeling hung out to dry, perhaps hanging in limbo, presenting the truth to those who don't want to hear it, or to help them walk away and within from what no longer serves them. The King of Swords upright and the Queen of Pentacles upright sitting side by side, or the King of Swords is under arrest order or going away, or the King of Swords, who could be Capricorn here, is giving the Queen of Pentacles the whole truth. Now she could be the Capricorn as well, and she is walking away. So one or the other is walking away. And the read yesterday ended in the 8 of Cups, and it ends today again in the 8 of Cups. The same energy. Someone is walking away. After paying out to the past, hanging out or in limbo, the Hermit is receiving the truth from an unjust King of Pentacles upright, or about the injustice of the King of Pentacles, looking or going back to be bored or grounding and integrating, and then implement a plan to go forward financially. A full-grown tree here, but planting some more roots, all right, and that can be paralleling all the work they put into something. The full-grown tree, the family tree, but planting some more roots, new roots, avoiding a landmine, and 3 perfectly good cups. Strategizing how to do this, or working with fire burn and how to grow trees back the quickest. So some people may be dealing with the fires in California as well. Sunshine is out and being seen as the Hierophants reversed and the Towers reversed, or Taurus and Scorpio both reversed. And the walking away, 8 of Cups, is coming up for Taurus in the 12-card read. Okay, so there you go with that. So Taurus is very linked here too as the energy walking away. Sunshine out being seen with the Hierophant reversed and the Tower reversed, or Taurus and Scorpio both reversed under the King of Cups upright, which is that energy of unconditional love, or a water sign male, which I told you the water signs are the ones to follow today. Exposing all about a divorce, breaking from a contract, avoiding disaster. And I just gave you Scorpio and Taurus. And since Taurus is walking away and Scorpio is defenseless to the energies or attacks, no longer caring what they say or do. It's like giving up. I'm not going to defend myself anymore. I don't have to. It's that kind of energy, but it's coming up that way because Scorpio is learning to do this. And Scorpio's in Leo energy, and Leo's being strong. So it could be Scorpio no longer being willing to defend themselves to a Leo just because they're being stronger than them or bullying them. That could be as well. It also could be dealing with pets. But there's definitely Scorpio and Leo are linked, as well as now Taurus walking away from them, perhaps. Avoiding disaster by doing this, or in the aftermath of a cleanup, or coming clean, or Jack and Jill's fall. The crown is broken by the false Mary Magdalene, or a manly woman, or dealing with outreach program, or pogroms, which are attacks on certain types of people. And that's interesting. I don't usually watch violent movies because I don't like them, number one. But I ended up watching Peppermint last night, which was about, a mother whose husband and child had been killed. And, of course, there was not justice for her. And then she goes, she learns how to train herself to, go on a mass killing after 5 years. So this is coming up around this, because with Jack and Jill's fall, the crown broken by the false Mary Magdalene or manly woman, or dealing with outreach program or pogroms came up again here, which is going on a rampage and killing a group of people. And she was killing all the people in the gangs who never got prosecuted. So rescuing children, and there was a big theme around this movie too, like, because of course she's not going to hurt any innocent people. She only wanted to get the people who were hurting others. And there was always her daughter type person coming up in the movie, because of course that would stop her from doing any harm. The King of Cups, the loving man at 8:59 being strength. Again, that's that Leo energy. And the Five of Swords being at war. The war within, but I believe it was reversed in the read. Yeah, the post-war energy, which is showing, that post-war energy is coming up in the movie last night too, right? After all said and done, all that violence, then what? So the King of Cups comes up, the loving man, and the grieving energetic exchange, and the passion of the Page of Wands reversed, injustice, the injustice of the child, the vulnerable child. That can perhaps be a spoiled, entitled child too, but it was very much the vulnerability coming up. But my inner child was becoming up more as that spoiled, entitled child than the vulnerable one. So it could be both energies for sure coming up, because we're collapsing the polarities to the center. The flame in the DNA of the family tree. The flame being in the DNA of the family tree, perhaps a distant relative. The Page of Wands reversed, and Tinkerbell very unhappy. 2 apples may be stolen in energetic exchange loop, right? Because as far as the family tree, ultimately, we're all in the same family, right? If you go back to the first day, right? So that's coming up around that loop as well, the square. Because even if you're related, it really doesn't matter. You're such distant relatives, it doesn't matter. And we made those rules so that our children wouldn't get weak DNA links and have issues in their life. So that's the only reason that really ever happened. So 2 apples stolen, an energetic energy loop, right? So apples is referring to Adam and Eve, and it looks like 2 apples were stolen. So it's not Eve with the apples, somebody else has the apples, someone pretending to be the divine feminine. Or a lizard man with his child. This could be someone worried that there's a man, with the lizard type energy around their child, and maybe they have no power over that. Or maybe someone has discarnate energy in their field, right? Maybe a child who's acting not who they are, and they don't know how to get rid of it. So that might be someone who just needs to reach out to people who would know where someone to go to help them clear that. Follow your dreams, which is 85, which is a reflection of the 58, the 5D connection. So the 85 is grounding the connection into the physical. Follow your dreams. And then manifestation of the 8, the dance between the masculine and feminine. And here my inner child did an about face from the left to the right, going from the feminine to the masculine this morning, to clear that frustration energy, which is masculine, by just laying down and resting or meditating, to allow the energies to shift, to let go. The Page of Pentacles reversed in need of help in a split, a lie or BS of the Hierophant, marriage, religion, or establishment, burdened by the Atlas energy, the weight of the world, or working out too hard, or too much weight on, or slave labor. A heated debate or not expressing true dreams. And again, that heated debate was coming up between fire and earth, or not expressing their true desires. Okay, and that comes up with the fire signs, not expressing their true desires or falling short on energy. Coming clean, getting clean, cleaning up the actor space, but still suffering in silence, even after all that. With wise counsel at the crib, perhaps a confession at church, or a dying confession, last rites or will, erasing sheep from the count, no longer leaving some behind for good measure. And that has to do with thoughts, words, and ideas. Right? So those sheep, like, it's not your job to do their work for them. It's their job to do their work. Or no longer bootlegging. That came up, this is the second or third time that's come up. Could be a Taurus child who never learns, or a religious man who abused the Page of Pentacles reversed, and their childhood is returning now to let it come up to heal. The suffering in silence or up nights in limbo, or hung out to dry, implementing a strategy for the King of Cups, that loving man. The injustice or female with Libra in chart, no longer offering 2 spoons of sugar or fruit, and following your dreams by grounding your union at 917, which is the Hermit and the Star. So then it's the 951, which is the Hermit and the King of Swords. In the recent past is the Two of Wands upright. Bye, hon. Have fun. Love you too. So the recent past is the Two of Wands upright, the twin flame energy, either choosing a path or the twin flame path, as the High Priestess secret, in disconnect or at a distance, embarrassing self or feeling a fool in front of the world, needing to swallow their pride and heed the call. Deliberation maybe not working anymore, and the Knight of Cups reversed, feeling rejected or jealous, moody or insincere, walking away from the games now that all is exposed. So again, the walking away energy is coming up with Taurus, and the all exposed has to do with Leo, right? Because that's the sun, and Leo's the crux of the matter here. And that can be ego as well. It doesn't have to be the Leo person. And as I was watching the movie last night, right at 10 o'clock, they quoted a firm believer in beauty sleep. And that was one of the messages yesterday, is to make sure you get your beauty rest. And then the movie literally said, I'm a firm believer in beauty sleep. So I wanted you to know that, because it's really important to get that rest. And in my message from the inner child, it was also saying you might as well just take a break and lay down and shift your body. So that's coming up again here. Or Pisces or Virgo or a religious woman in disagreement with fool, falling for the divine feminine or lacking faith in, or fools and cowards falling for Pisces or the sealed divine feminine. This could be somebody's perspective of the divine feminine, cornered by Han's cross. It's like being surrounded by a lot of negative energy, right? Fools and cowards are coming up all around them, but it's like someone's impervious to their attacks or their negative energy. And this is coming up around the divine feminine energies, that she's sealed from that negative energy. So again, I'm going to read that again. This could be a Pisces, Virgo, or divine feminine, or a religious woman in disagreement with fool falling for the divine feminine or lacking faith in, or fools and cowards, perhaps those not working, falling for Pisces or sealed divine feminine, or cornered by Hans's cross, or the world complete, right? The four corners of the world, Hans cross. So in the world card, you know, you have the four fixed signs all around her. Two are the bull and the lion, right? The stubbornness and the ego. And the top two energies are the light. It's always like the Michael and Metatron or Michael and Thoth energies on top, protecting her, and that could be Jesus energy as well. But she's got protection. She's sealed from the negative energy, the stubbornness and the ego, from getting to her. The world now complete with the divine feminine Pisces amidst Aries reversed and Aquarius reversed, not working out, with the Knight of Cups reversed, walking away from public life, perhaps walking away from violence and games, the competition all exposed or the game over, someone done with their 15 minutes in the sun or with fame. Pisces or Virgo, and the axis of purifying it and exposing, and that was coming up with Virgo and Pisces yesterday, their job being the purifiers, one of daily life and the other of the transition from this life to the next, and exposing or a woman that's a one-man band and untouchable by chaos and those in fear, done aligning with their work, their talents, their gift and skills. The Knight of Cups reversed could be a Scorpio or someone with Scorpio in their chart. Pisces and Cancer all positive here, and Leo fully charged and ready to rumble. And again, when I did Leo's read this week, they were seeing themselves as the Five of Wands, which is that conflict or fighting or game energy. So here Leo is being the issue in the 12 sign read, and fully charged and ready to rumble, which is what came up in the Leo read as well. The foundation is the Nine of Swords, trying to end the nightmare, the suffering and silence. After an offer of love from the Page of Wands reversed, trying to fix what was broken, and that's like my inner child, right? Trying to fix what was broken. And the Queen of Swords upright, speaking their truth about moving or losing a home or marriage or visiting homes of those suffering in silence. The Page of Wands reversed is probably coming up here as an Aries, but it can be any fire energy or just that energy of frustration, that childish energy of not being able to fix something. That Page of Wands reversed, probably an Aries, offering big love to hang out with Capricorn upright or Pisces upright, Virgo upright or Libra reversed, or Queen of Swords upright with unstable Page of Wands reversed child who's suffering in silence, not knowing how to fix them. So the mother and child. Unable to get over a big love. This could be the child who can't get past a big love and won't leave. So this could be a child's love for another kid at school, or it could be anyone in their family or someone they admire, right? Having a crush on someone older. But it's like the kid can't leave it alone. They keep offering love, but coming from a negative place because the Page of Wands is reversed, because there's never anything wrong with giving love from a positive place. But there is frustration here, and then offer of big love, and won't leave Capricorn, Virgo upright or Libra reversed alone. The King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles may form a united front, hoping they can convince them to go away. And the central energy here is that Five of Wands conflict of the Leo at the crux of the matter. I hope I'm using that word correctly. So Scorpios being strong, or Scorpio versus Leo, so here it is again. So the 12 sign read was just confirming that Scorpio-Leo relationship. Scorpio being strong, right, no longer caring what they think. Scorpio versus Leo, or death, end, dark night, transition, perhaps of a pet, with the Page of Wands reversed, unable to let go of their pet, which is very understandable. Coming together at work to dump emotional attachments, things they don't need to rise above. No sleep, perhaps, or awaken and come out about it, about the journey. The challenge here for the twins is the Queen of Cups reversed. Now, the Queen of Cups came up upright with Sag today, but remember, this was done last night, so the energy may have shifted. So it doesn't have, the Queen of Cups reversed doesn't have to be Sagittarius. It can be any energy. that's very emotion-based or water sign. The Queen of Cups reversed and the Knight of Wands upright, which can then indicate she is Sagittarius, but is also coming as the Knight of Wands rescuing her, and this could be her rescuing herself, or always answering her distress calls. Right? The Knight of Wands rushing in to rescue, making the Queen of Cups a victim. You can't have one without the other. So therefore the Savior is just as wrong as the victim, as well as the perpetrator being just as wrong as the victim. The impatient fallen angel, or no longer patient, or Sagittarius reversed, Virgo, Gemini, or Aries reversed, insecure without the tools to deal with Cancer. This could be a Queen of Cups reversed Cancer, or it could be someone with the disease. I'm not really getting the disease so much, especially since the Strength card is upright. So the Queen of Cups, definitely, that's her natural placement is Cancer, so she could definitely be a Cancer. But we also have Sagittarius coming up here. So in Sagittarius placement in the 12-sign read, the Queen of Cups could be a Cancer in his energy of the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is below her, falling short of expectation. False light or full moon energy here. Every time she's dissatisfied, the Knight of Cups comes running, surrendering to choose a new path, or surrendering to twin, no longer fantasizing about the harsh truth of the Hierophant reversed, committed to healthcare facility, rehabilitation, or arrested, or narcissistic marriage, religion, establishment, or dad. Destined to not call and grieve, right? Because it's someone afraid to allow their feelings out. So destined to not call and grieve, and then, of course, feel the guilt and shame of the Grim Reaper versus the Knight of Swords reversed, choosing a new path due to a negative past and frustration. At 1054, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Page of Swords again, and the Page of Swords was reversed along with the Knight of Swords. There could be two kids, you know, really not in their best self, right? Because they're both either lying, spying, being really mean, or giving people the silent treatment. But that can be verbally abusive, but it's coming from young energies, which is really immature, which is even worse, you know? And that could be like gang members, right? That energy is coming up as well. In this section here coming up is Taurus reversed, Libra upright, Aquarius reversed, and Scorpio upright. Or this is literally needing to let childhood wounds come up, or dealing with difficult kids who are not getting along, or falling out with a soulmate. It's not funny, or someone's not aroused by this, or kids overstimulated and in desperate need of parenting here. Again, we got a Page of Swords and a Knight of Swords, and somebody else could be really pissed that someone's not controlling their kids or not parenting them. Someone spoiling their kids could be doing that because they don't want to abuse them like their parents abused them, except there needs to be a happy medium, because children are children because they need parenting. They need to know what their boundaries are, what the restrictions are. Children actually will complain about discipline, but actually they crave discipline from their parents. They want the attention from their parents in a positive way. So that's coming up here. Now for the twins is the Five of Swords reversed, right? After the war, the post-war PTSD, the looting, the time of inner growth and expansion, the grieving, the shame and guilt, and the holding the tongue or the lashing out, the reaping rewards of the Queen of Pentacles reversed, who may have felt left for dead, and no end to the pain. In negative self-talk, or the Page of Swords reversed, perhaps a pain in the ass, bringing in the good news after causing or avoiding the war, journeying onward bound. An outward bound program kept coming up this week. So here's onward bound, going forward. The Knight of Swords reversed, grieving, and the Page of Swords reversed, in pain, the journey to lead them out of that. The Page of Cups upright, the innocent without the words to express to the King of Pentacles, superhero, which can be the father, while the Queen of Wands upright is dumping on them to free themselves from the past, perhaps a sleazy connection with Aquarius reversed post-war, with PTSD and looting, juggling, performing, and keeping to self, frustration of not burning the past, the guilt for not having been brave, and the Hermit shedding light on all this, and the full exposure of the third energy and the sunshine and the dark night of the soul all at once, destabilizing the home of the Knight of Swords reversed and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, perhaps a Scorpio and Aquarius, no longer trying to wake them up. And that could, the Aquarius could have Taurus too, since Scorpio came up with Taurus before. And the Knight of Pentacles can be a Taurus. So it's definitely Scorpio, Knight of Swords reversed, and then Aquarius, Taurus, Knight of Pentacles reversed. No longer trying to wake them up. So this is a parent, right? And they don't have to be kids. They can be adults who are acting like kids. But this is like the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups energies, no matter which one you're dealing with, they're both upright. No longer trying to wake these two up or give them a choice. Lazy, depressed, and bored. Kids frustrated or frustrated with kids, the parents, or unable to conceptualize the past falling out, an inability to find the humor in it at 1109, which is Justice and the Hermit. Truth and balance and going within. Soon for the twins is the Knight of Wands with a slow burning flame, coming clean or cleaning at night and implementing a plan of attack, or, and that could just be for attacking the home to get it all cleaned up, or for energetic exchange, expression of feelings, the arrows of love with the Queen of Cups reversed, fighting or competing with the Knight of Cups reversed, who could be, there could be a financial drain here, and the Page of Cups upright, innocent and loving, or battling with dependent kids. So we have the Queen of Cups and Knight of Cups are reversed in the read, and then in the 12 sign read this morning, Sag and Pisces are upright, Queen of Cups and Knight of Cups. So, but Sagittarius was coming up as the Knight of Wands with the Queen of Cups in their energy, Cancer. So it could be Cancer and Pisces being very loving, and the Sag may be benefiting from that Queen of Cups loving energy of the Cancer because they were falling short, whether in expressing their feelings or in energy or being a player, you know, being a jerk. So there may be 2 to 3 kids here with the Knight of Cups, Page of Cups upright, and then there's the Sovereign, the Nine of Pentacles reversed here as well. That could be a third child that doesn't fit, right? A misfit child, like the Island and Misfit Toys. But it also can just be expressing that the Knight of Cups reversed is a financial drain because the Page of Cups is coming up upright. So the Page of Cups, innocent and loving, and battling dependent kids with the Queen of Cups. She may be upset because of that. Or 2 to 3 kids. If 3, it's 2 against 1, or 1 is the black sheep, unlike all the others, or worries they won't fit in. And this could be 2 families merging, and the Pentacles child may not feel like the Cups children will accept them. But the Page of Cups is always loving and accepting. The Knight of Cups reversed may be heartbroken in separation with an insecure and manipulative, or with insecure and manipulative Queen of Cups reversed. Could be a dependent with a baby as well, and all 3 here are emotional, both child parents and the child. And that could be a baby, you know, the Page of Cups could be a baby. The King of Cups may be leaving because the Knight of Wands always rushes in every time the Queen of Cups reverse has a problem. Enjoying the sun without Taurus reversed and Scorpio reversed, and definitely could have all 3 water signs here that they're dealing with. So losing, here the twin flames are seeing themselves as the Star reversed, which is that card of depression, losing hope or arrogance, and my little girl was coming up more arrogant here, or negative Aquarius in their energy, or the age of Aquarius, right? This is the dawning here, approaching quickly. As the 10 of Cups reversed, unhappy family or emotional cycle is so over, with no peace and offering a payoff to an ex perhaps who never learns, or always needing help, money, or opportunity, or getting others to do it for them. So this could be a dependent ex who keeps coming back, and the masculine and the feminine keep coming to their rescue instead of letting them do it on their own. Or maybe they're learning now to perhaps give them advice but not do it for them. 11 is justice, 20 is judgment. So again, the judgment card's coming up, and today is that energy of the judgment, the truth and balance. And if it hurts their feelings, then so be it. If you're in love and speaking your truth, you can never be wrong. It is your love and your truth. If the other person gets hurt by that, then they need to heal their own wounds. If they want to come back and try again, that's up to them. But you have to be willing to stand in your full truth and not sugarcoat it to make them feel better, because then you're lying to yourself. Don't do it for them. The King of Wands reversed and the Six of Cups reversed here, or with kids, the King of Wands and the kids all struggling here. And again, there's a lot of water energy in both. There's like a family of water signs here, and then within the 12-sign read, there's just a lot of water in general. So a lot of emotions are coming up to be released. So religious factors comes up with that 1120 of judgment and justice, which can be the justice system as well, and a judge. And by the way, in the movie last night, she killed the judge too, because he was being paid off by the mob. And that's why the guys who killed her, even though she identified all three of them in court, didn't get put in jail. They dismissed the case. So he got killed. She killed all of the bad guys and the judge who was tainted. And so here the judgment and justice are coming up again with religious factors. And religious factors can be any differences. It doesn't have to be religion. It can be societal norms. It can be status, culture, whatever it is. The differences between people, age. So religious factors is a big deal here. Deception. All of the negative cards came up from the romance angels today. Religious factors, deception, codependency, and pay attention to the red flags. Because most of the cards are pretty positive in this deck. So all this stuff is coming up to be dealt with, to release it. Around the divine feminines or the twin flames, not just the divine feminines. Around the twin flames or how they are seen is the higher self, which is each other. So if you are the depressed one, then your higher self is upright around you, and vice versa for the masculine and the feminine. This also can be the twin flames with Aquarius energy in their energy because of the shift before the age of Aquarius, and this is why it's bringing up all the emotional crap. But either which way, it's showing you your higher self is always there for you. It's always around you. You are each other, coming together, heartbroken to share, to compare notes or settle out or mediate with a third party. The King of Pentacles with people depending on him, or now turning away people or helping the needy. The group is supporting the King of Pentacles or holding him in high esteem or high regard, while two are out in the cold, heartbroken and left behind, destined to turn around. And now I'm getting turn around. So total eclipse of the heart coming up. Destined to turn around and help out once again. So if someone had to close their business and couldn't help the people they normally help, they're hoping that soon they'll be able to open up again and be there for them. Or dealing with getting proper schooling for the kids. Both twins helping others and both left out in the cold. So again, both polarities at once now merging in order to collapse. Destined to share. Clear blocks of sunshine and exposure. And Leo energy, ego. Hanging out with temptation, the devil, the Capricorn energy, the codependency, or the Capricorn and the Page of Cups, all at the same time, right? The devil and the Page of Cups. Those are polarities. Page of Cups is innocent and pure. The devil is the opposite of that. The pure hanging out with the devil or stuck in limbo. And again, that could be a grandparent with a grandchild, right? A grandparent who maybe lived a really bad life, but now, they're disabled and they can't do all the bad things they were doing before, and they're changing along with the help of this innocent child. That could be as well. The pure hanging out with the devil or a Capricorn. This can just be a Capricorn father. Or stuck in limbo with ball and chain and baby or child's baby and their boyfriend or husband. Parenting and adventure comes up, and falling for or embarrassing self in front of the evil empress, falling from grace. The Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, traveling to see the Emperor reversed. And again, that could be a man who's led a very bad life, but is now old, and now people are caring for him and showing him what love is, and he may be transforming. They may want to go run and travel to see the Emperor reverse also before he walks away, if this is someone stepping down from a place of power. The Page of Cups, with heart open wide, receiving those walking away, as the Knight of Pentacles reversed may be depressed, and that was coming up as a Taurus or Aquarius reversed too, grounding, integrating frustration, the inability to control the sexual energy or get aroused, or no reason or rhyme of the whole truth of the Two of Cups, in disconnect or at a distance, in surrender and leaving it up to God. Defenseless to the energies or attacks, and that here is Scorpio, feeling ganged up on or without excuse for the injustice of the Empress, who's coming up as the bad guy even though she's upright. She's not, this isn't the tarot sexual magic. She's all about her sexual power, and, manipulation. That's her MO in the tarot sexual magic. So there's that negative energy. But then there's a transformation, because the last card of clarification is the Empress again, but it's the more normal motherly Empress energy. So there may be two different Empresses or grandparents you're dealing with here. But defenseless to the energies or attacks, which is that Scorpio energy, feeling ganged up on or without an excuse, for the injustice of the Empress on top, or again, there could be two different Empresses here, or Taurus. Perhaps ganging up on Libra reversed, or Libra reversed defenseless to her, and this could be someone with Leo and Scorpio in their chart, Libra and Scorpio, sorry. Feeling defenseless to her, perhaps making him look like a fool. And this could be, a mother or a wife that's kind of bullying the husband or son, or making a fool of him. And there could be two different representations of the mother, one who's the dark mother and one who's the light mother. But the light mother ends up on top because light always wins. The Page of Cups upright and the Page of Swords reversed. Losing hope with the wounded warrior surrendering or giving up. The Act or juggling. Or Aquarius reversed and wounded warrior reversed, not getting along, but have to work together. But the Page of Cups is always loving and happy in this read. Or kids depressed, or just Aquarius reversed and surrender to performance, juggler or clown. They may see them that way. The Hangman is suffering in silence, depressed, with the higher self twin in conflict and challenged by the Queen of Cups reversed, and the Knight of Wands exposed, or in a tell-all post-war and walking away. So again, Knight of Wands has been rescuing the Queen of Cups reversed, but in the 12-sign read, it's coming up the other way around now. Now that the Queen of Cups is upright in his energy, she's no longer being the victim and forcing him to then change his savior rescue ways. So that's why the Knight of Wands is reversed now, which can turn someone into a player, but you don't want that either. But they could just be falling short and not expressing their true feelings. They need to be upright, but not be the rescuer. Just need to use their own passion to rescue themselves. So the Page of Cups upright may be a Cancer here as opposed to a Pisces. And the Emperor reversed, presently in their truth about the Two of Cups reversed, higher self, the disconnect, the surrendering defenseless to a Libra reversed, and Taurus or Empress sitting on them or on top. And that's really funny. It's reminding me of when my son was little, when he wouldn't take his medicine that he really needed. Especially if someone's like running a 105 temperature, you're not going to argue. They need their medicine. So he fought me he's a Scorpio, and he fought me every tooth and nail when it came to a lot of things. He had so much built up frustration as a baby. He came into this world with frustration. He was constipated from the day I brought him home from the hospital. I had to put him up in the playpen without a diaper with his butt up in the air the very first day we got home. So, he had a lot of discomfort most of his babyhood, and there was a lot of frustration there, and he sure showed it. And being that he's a Scorpio, that's kind of natural to Scorpio. But it's coming up because I used to have to sit there with my legs over his arms so he wouldn't fight me, because sometimes he'd get so frustrated. He was hitting me, like abusing me as his mother, and he was just a little baby. So sometimes you have to restrain them to do what's best for them. And that's coming up here. Sometimes you have to do what may be uncomfortable or hurtful to someone else because it is what's needed when they're a child, because you need to take care of them. So the Page of Cups upright, Cancer, and the Emperor reversed, presenting the truth about the Two of Cups higher self, and surrendering defenseless to the Libra reversed, and Taurus or Empress sitting on them on top. And that's what was reminding me of me. I'm not Taurus at all, but I could be referenced as the mother Empress to my son. and needing to help him, learn what's best for him. Once they grow up, they can do what they want, but as a child, they need to rely on the parents' wisdom. The hanging man, the twin flames, hanging out together, perhaps suffering in silence, expanding post-war, of growing and challenged by the Queen of Cups reversed. This can also be children, like, let's say my son remembered that, and he always remembered the wound about me making him take his medicine. He may have a wound about that, and it's about now letting that come up now that he's an adult, and he can see it from a different perspective. He's like, oh yeah, because now he's really thinking about having children, which is so sweet. The challenge here is the Queen of Cups reversed, right, who goes into their victim mentality, being very emotional and manipulative. Depressed with the Knight of Wands, who's upright in the reed but now reversed, and the higher self, sunshine, walking away and within to open their heart to innocence and ego death and truth of disconnect and surrender at 11:48. 11 being the justice, and 48 is that walking away at the end of the read today and yesterday. So just as an example, this doesn't mean this is your situation, but there could be three people here. Let's say the Divine Masculine is still in a relationship or a marriage. It looks like the partner isn't letting go, or is, being the victim and always pulling them back in, pulling them back in, pulling them back in, because he's not standing in his truth. They're making him feel guilty that if he doesn't do this, then he's a bad person. It's that kind of energy, but at the same time, whatever the masculine does, he's sharing with the feminine because they share the same etheric body. So it's both twins helping to change that at the same time. The Queen of Cups reversed depressed, and the Knight of Wands, higher self, right? So the feminine in that situation, the divine feminine, needs to walk away so that he'll walk away and within to open the heart of innocence and ego death and truth of disconnect and surrender. Okay? So there is your read. I hope you like that. It's a lot of information. It's 101. It was just 55 with the truth. 101 is the two magicians, which the magician came up as the overall read, and it was just 10202. So the high priestess as well. But the 55 of the whole truth, the magician, and the whole truth. And that's so cool because that's what came up here in the underlying energy for the 12 sign read, right? Gemini is the magician. And so this is the only way to show the magician again, because there aren't two magician cards in the deck. They're both Gemini. But here it's reversed, and here it's now upright in the end, right? Good over evil. And this can be indecision, but for me it's not usually that. It has to do with a lack of affection or a breakup, right? Not seeing each other in their truth and love. And then here is manifesting big at the end of the read after processing through all of these emotions. So I'm going to pull you an energy deck card. Let's see what comes up for you here. I really liked doing it with my 12 card read because the cards really came into play a lot today. So Gemini was the Page of Cups reversed. So the Page of Cups here was upright, but the Page of Cups over here is reversed. So when Gemini goes into their mood, they become, that spoiled and entitled energy of the Page of Cups reversed. But also remember that spoiled, entitled child is because they're vulnerable and shy and acting out. It all has to do with feeling hurt, because only hurt people do hurtful things, right? Someone who is really well loved all their life usually loves others because they were taught how to do that. So remember that the ones who act out, the gang members who act out, were abused children or neglected children. And we need to have compassion for them. Okay. But sometimes in life, like in the movie last night, right, if your husband and child were killed, you have to have compassion for her as well, that she went out and killed all those people, because she would never be the same again. So here is that all tied up, feeling frustrated, playing games. The King of Wands is, I'm trying to remember what direction he was in. He's reversed, okay? So perhaps releasing yourself, okay? Feeling frustrated and all tied up here. But the Eight of Swords is reversed too. There's definitely a release from prison or anxiety, fear energies here. And this is oriented around the King of Wands reversed, who's actually on the twin flame placement, how you see yourself. So this is really good. By feeling all these feelings, especially the masculine, allowing themselves to feel their feelings, they are releasing themselves. The bottom of the deck is strategizing, which is that Scorpio energy. Journaling, that's so funny because I finally took out my flashlight this morning to power it up. I've had it for a while, but I'm, trying to get my daily duties taken care of and not avoiding them. So a compass came up in that, and I was playing with the direction of my house this morning. So there may be journaling, strategizing, getting things in order, getting your paperwork in order, journaling, right? Strategizing where to go next with the world, because this is a completion energy. There's also music, it's just things that are disorganized that need to get put in their place. That's the underlying energy. And then we have, besides the release here of the anxiety and fears and prison time, perhaps, because that was coming up last night, these three cards came up together. The 45 of the 5 of Cups, which was upright in the read, and there's the deception of that Knight of Wands that was upright in the read, but now reversed in the 12 sign read. So this one's up and back and forth, and this can be self-deceit as well. But this is also the energy of the masculine with their partner manipulating them, right, to make them feel guilty. It's just what I said. And then the 4th chakra archangel Raphael to drop into your heart, the 38 of the Queen of Cups, who is literally just dropped into Sagittarius to flip them from being savior, because in the tarot, I think it's the tarot sexual magic, he's literally rescuing someone. And then now reversed is the perpetrator. You see how that works? The savior and the perpetrator. So he really needs to be here, but saving himself. So Sag needs to figure that out, because Sag was the rescuer, now is the perpetrator, and now he needs to save himself. Drop into his heart. With the Queen of Cups, his twin, is in his energy, helping him do that. This is 38, the Queen of Cups. You see how that works? Really cool. So I hope that was clear for you. And then Pisces is the Knight of Cups leading the way. So follow Pisces. Pisces and Aries are a really good energy today. So those are the ones to follow. It's funny because my daughter has both Pisces and Aries. And the Page of Cups is not coming up as Pisces, which it normally is. It's coming up as Gemini and Cancer, and they're right next to each other. But in the 12 sign read, it's definitely Gemini reversed, and it's coming up as Cancer upright. And the Cancer is taking a rest or taking a break or meditating. There could be a Cancer who has passed as well, but it's not something new. It's after death for Leo. So let's see here. And again, fire signs could be dealing with pets. Queen of Pentacles comes out for Scooby-Doo, which is the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Here is someone very pleased with themselves and very balanced and happy and well-grounded, right? Right? I know you like me. And here's someone feeling insecure, perhaps losing money and status, or being too much wrapped up in the superficial life. But it could just be a lack of grounding, just needing to ground, which is coming up today. So 10 of Swords has to do with, I think the 10 of Swords was upright actually in the read. So that has to do with ending pain or betrayal, but that can be literally ending pain for others. So it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but it can be a painful ending or betrayal as well. But it's reversed here. The upright was, being kind of insane, trying to juggle all that hula hoop and keep it up in the air and never stop. Like this is right, someone insane to do that. And now letting it all go. And this is the bliss of letting it all go. Sometimes you're ungrounded and you just have to let go. When you feel disoriented, it's time to relax. And that's definitely a message that's coming up throughout this whole read. The bottom of the deck is, so when you put out too much enthusiasm, it's going to throw you the other direction. 3 of Cups is that coming together. It's like coming together, the guys watching the game, friends. But remember, if you do this, you're going to suffer later because it's too much energy output. It's more about the subtle plane, the subtle energies. right? Because look what it did to you. It's like drinking at night and then the next day, uh-oh, not feeling so good today. So it's just reminding you of that you're learning to be more moderate because we're taking out the ends of the polarities. We're taking out the victim and perpetrator and the savior, because the savior and perpetrator are the polarities. The victim is in the middle, because the victim is you in the middle needing to save yourself and be the perpetrator of self, collapsing those two polarities into you so that then you're whole and being in the 0 point. So it's like the median and taking away the outliers, you know, the ones that are real extreme polarities in order to make everything more balanced. Okay? So now for the journey of love. This was a really good all-around practical reading. I think there's a lot of good information there for you. The journey of love. So for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all those concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? What's our takeaway? And again, the Magician upright is the overall takeaway for everyone today. Even though there's a lot of discontent here, it's much needed to go through those energies, accept those energies about yourself, and allow them to go, and then manifest. Okay? So it's all good, is the point. Going from a lack of affection to hugging yourself if you need it. Okay? All right. So for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? And let's also clear all blocks to positive energy flow in all chakra layers, auric layers, grounding and galactic cords for everyone across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all is concerned, and fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, I brought this up to YouTube because they keep taking views away from me. Like one day, literally, I had 100 views taken away from, you know, I don't get that many views in the first place. And they told me that it was just them doing their job, about people who just go in and maybe don't watch the video, but it's not right, because there's no way there's 100 views taken away, because that doesn't usually happen on my other videos. So they did not answer my question properly. But also, one of the viewers let me know that they were unsubscribed from my channel. So I don't know what the energy's doing. I don't know why I'd be a threat. I only get I'm not only getting a few hundred views a day anyway right now. But if you're being unsubscribed, it's not me. Please resubscribe, like, share, donate if you're so inclined to do so, if you like the content. And if you need other information about my website, most of my information is in the details below, but also you can go to my website, twinflames3344.com, if you should like a more personal reading. So let's see what the takeaway energy is here. All right. The void, 40, is the Page of Cups. Okay, so the innocence of the void. And we just talked about that, collapsing into the middle. The innocence of the void. And the eruption of light. Look how beautiful and smooth that energy is. Oh, look. All three of these. Eruption of justice, and then just for a moment, joy. 46 is the inner children. How beautiful is that? That's the Hieros Gamos, guys. But you can have it within yourself. You know, you don't have to wait to be with your twin. This is really beautiful. It doesn't mean you're not going to be with your twin. It's by recognizing your own connection with higher self, you are in union. But the more you recognize that, the more you know that in your life every day, the more you manifest the physical. And the bottom of the deck is distant shores, which shows like 4 moons here, which is like the 4 of the square, the bone square, the 18 of the moon, distant shores, and so much purple and green here, which are the light I usually see. So we have indigo and the heart energy here, with the white of purification, times 4, magnified times 4, the ripple effect, right? So make sure to purify, like so. In your meditations, make sure to send out purification energies, whether it's just purifying your own body and then expanding it out through your aura and out through the neighborhood, the world, and so on. or literally imagining the world and purifying the world. There is a ripple effect here, right? Because the moon is the false light. It's not a living entity. And it just takes the reflection of the sun and sends it back to the sun in a distorted way because it's not living. So what's behind the moon? Behind the moon is the heart of God. Okay? So it's like, getting the false light out of the way. And the green, this is very psychic energy here between the heart and the third eye. And it's like on the scale too. You notice on the scale on the piano that there's two sets of notes that don't have the black key in between them? Well, that's where the third eye is and where the heart is. It's the shift from the solar plexus to the heart and the shift from the third eye to the crown. It's very interesting. So the breaking of the King of Pentacles, the Nine of the Hermit, the heart of God, the wisdom, the going within, the heart of the matter. We have the green and the blood flow here of the heart. And then the distant shores of the moon. And again, here's 9/8, and my birthday is coming up again, the 9/18. Did you say happy birthday this morning? And this is for the King of Pentacles. Say happy birthday every morning like Frosty the Snowman, and then Thanksgiving every dinner. And that's a great spiritual practice to have. That's what they were giving us yesterday. So it's reminding us that in the underlying energies and heavens behind that, 70 is the Two of Pentacles, right? Keeping your balls up in the air, or the balance, the performance, the breaking of the King of Pentacles and juggling, and the heart of God going into the heart, the Hermit going within, and then the 18 of the moon dealing with any false light that's around you that's now magnetized times 4 so you can see it clearly. There you go. All right, so again, here's the cards that you got today. The Page of Cups, Justice of the Hieros Gamos, and the 46 of the Inner Children, which is so beautiful. Right? The innocence of the portal, and you see how she's become part of the portal. She's holding it down for the Hieros Gamos, and just for a moment, joy of the coming together. This is the togetherness of the children. This is the 6 of Cups, the two children together, loving each other. Literally, see, one is in the portal, and one is receiving the light. These are the two children. You are each other's self, each other's higher self. Right? This is more in the light, and this is more in the energy of the shell, which is the 3D. And here's the Hieros Gamos between, receiving the light to share it in the 0 point, coming together, merging the two polarities, the 3D sun and the sun within. And merging is the 0 point and the Hieros Gamos all at once. Really beautiful. Wow. Okay, so let's read 0 point. The void. I know it's a pretty short one. Here, at the ending of every cycle and the beginning of every cycle, so again, here's that merging of 2 points, there's a moment of transition. It may last for any amount of time, a moment of feeling or many years of deep inner work whilst feeling displaced. The transition may require patience to endure the absence of knowing, the lack of certainty about who you are and why you are here on this planet. A void may open up between one moment of meeting with your lover and the seemingly endless stretch of time, even if it's only days that seem as though they are eternal in duration as you wait to reconnect again. Yet if you can accept that entry into the cosmic void as preparation for your next cycle of manifestation, if you can accept that darkness is holding you with love and not with unfeelingness, then you can relax and let the preparation be what it must be. Then you can be well equipped for the next steps forward on your glorious divine adventure this lifetime, meeting the beloved, whether divine or human lover, in a fresh new moment, excited, open, and curious, always. This oracle brings you guidance. There are parts of your own process unfolding that you simply cannot know about yet. It will not always be this way, but for now it is most helpful for you to only deal with what is immediately before you. All else will be shown when the time is right. There is growing to be done, and then the void will bring forth the next step on your path to meet you. You do not have to worry, and you do not have to search, which is funny because that was coming up with my little girl searching through all the files. Be present, be patient, and when you can do something, do it. And when you can't, just be. Your time will soon come. If you're holding a question about relationship, surrender it into the void and let it become what it must be according to spiritual wisdom and love. A coming together, a blending of one, where understanding spans the space between and separation disappears to form anew. Okay? So I'm going to leave it there because we're already at 120. So, or should I? Yeah, I guess I'll let it go. Yeah, drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature, stay present, and rise and be loved, guys. Bye. Love you. Bye.